All right, you guys, I'm gonna be fishing for bluegill today at Lake Lewisville. I'm gonna be catching these bluegill and I'm gonna be putting them in the world's smallest pond. So you guys are gonna wanna stay tuned and stick around for the end of the video, because you're gonna see the world's smallest pond. I'm not even kidding. There's this pond, and I'm not even gonna tell you, it is just so tiny, but it never goes dry. It holds water, and I just want to go there sometime and fish, but there's no fish in it, so it's not big enough for bass or catfish, so I'm just gonna put bluegill in it. So you're gonna want to stick around and see this pond. Only want bluegill today because they tend to be a little bit tougher. There we go. And what are you? That's a little long-eared sunfish, so we're gonna toss him back. We'll toss him back. Not what we're after. There you go. So 2 casts in, we've already caught a fish. There's another bite. Oh my goodness, this is tiny. This is another little long-eared sunfish. There's a lot of long-eared sunfish at this lake. That's a good cast right there. Good spot. There's a bite. Another long-eared sunfish. That's all we've gotten so far today. There's a bite. Oh. Another long-eared sunfish. We'll let him. Okay. We'll toss her back. I was gonna let her just flop back into the water, but she stopped. There's a bite. And a green sunfish. Wow, guys. Catching everything but bluegill today. Toss them back. They're all about the right size though so far. Been using the same piece of worm this whole time. There's a bite. And what are you? I lost my bait. Jinxed myself, huh? Another long-eared sunfish. Goodness. They are beautiful, so you can see why I like stocking ponds with these, but they're not as hardy as the bluegill. See them? Toss them back. They're tiny. Oh my goodness. I just saw some bigger fish right here, so hopefully we can get some bluegill. Size doesn't really matter. I'm just really, the only thing that matters is the species. Another long-eared sunfish. Man, this is a good size one too. This is pretty much perfect, the perfect size for stocking, because he's big enough to fend for himself against some bass and stuff like that. Whoa, that was something pretty big right there. There he is. Green sunfish, my goodness. That's a pretty one, guys. Every day I've gone fishing lately, it's been cloudy. I know. I don't know what I can do about it. Oh, there he goes. Look at that. Finally find a bluegill and I can't even make the cast. There we go. There we go. That's a good spot. That's right about where I saw him. Got him. We got him. It's a bluegill, finally. Our first one. We're gonna go drop him off in the minnow bucket. Oh wow, I didn't even notice that. A little gar right there. Dead one. I got bad news, guys. Looks like we gut hooked our only bluegill. All right, guys, I'm gonna toss him back. Can't believe this. He's not gonna make it. We gut hooked the only bluegill we got today. Golly. There we go. What is this? Long ear sunfish. Oh boy, these guys are good for trot lines. There we go. There we go. Oh wow, big long ear sunfish, beautiful one. That's a male. You see why I love these guys so much. Wouldn't that look cool in an aquarium, you guys? All that turquoise and orange. It's like turquoise and sunset red. Look at that. One of the prettiest fish out there. I really think it's a cichlid, and I'll tell you why. You see the big hump on their head? I think you could probably list these guys as cichlids, because the only fish I know of that get those big humps on their heads are all cichlids. What a shame we're gonna let this guy go. Oh man, you talk about a beautiful fish. I don't know why these are not sold at pet stores. Oh, okay, there you go. Whatever. There we go. What's this? Another long ear sunfish. Good God. You guys are taking over. There's a bite. There he is again. Oh yeah, there we go. Bluegill, not gut hooked. All right. That other one's not dead yet either. He's floating, but he's still breathing. I might scoop him back up. All right, guys. This looks like a female. She's just sort of a silver color. The males tend to be more colorful. There he goes. There's a fish. What do we got? Long ear. Ugh. I've caught 20 fish today. You know, freaking 17 have been long ear. One was a green sunfish, and the last two were bluegill, and one of them freaking died. Oh my goodness. There you go. This looks really good for bluegill. Big bluegill even. There's a bluegill. He ain't big, but he's a bluegill. What I'm gonna do probably is bring my my minnow bucket and my worms down here, because this looks like much better fishing for bluegill. And I don't want to have to be constantly walking back a quarter mile or whatever to get my stuff. It's not good for the fish either. No reason for him to be out of water for this long. There he goes, little bitty guy, perfect size for this pond. All right. I bet you guys are probably wondering why I didn't take the easy way out and go to a small pond and catch, you know, a bluegill every cast. And the reason for that is because, yeah, I could catch big bluegill and I could catch them every cast, but they'd have poor genetics. Those bluegill in these ponds overpopulate like crazy, and they're all sort of related. They're really inbred is what I'm saying, and they have poor genetics. So I'd rather catch them out of Lake Lewisville when they're young, like this guy, another bluegill. I think we finally found a good spot to find bluegill, but I'd rather catch them when they're young. And for some reason lake fish seem to have better genetics just overall. So tiny little piece of worm on here, see if we can get a bite with that. But yeah, good genetics is more important. There's a hybrid, I think. Hybrid green sunfish right here. Sure enough, little hybrid. You know, hybrid bluegill seem to get bigger than the average bluegill for some reason. Not sure why. Well, can't get away from these guys today. Another long ear sunfish, and I hooked him. Look at this. Look at this. I hooked him from the outside in. I hooked him through the lower jaw. Look at that. That's funny. I see a pretty good sized bluegill right there. See that him? Nope. He stole my bait. I cannot believe that. This is the kind of rain that really all it does is make the road slippery, make the road dangerous. This is not the kind of rain that's going to soak in. Another bluegill. Thank you. We're starting to get them now. This is, I think, number 4. We've caught 5, but 4 in the bucket. So because these bluegill have to fend for themselves against 6-pound bass and stuff like that, they tend to have better genetics, because the bluegill that don't have good genetics get eaten. So that's why I'm at Lake Lewisville today. Another bluegill. Oh, no, 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 no. Oh, I might get finned here, but I ain't gonna lose ya. All right. So yeah, the bluegill in these little ponds don't have the giant predators that we have in this lake. So here's another bluegill. All right, guys, this is what we're after. Any size will do, really. We found ourselves a little school of bluegill, it looks like. Another one. This might be the biggest one yet. Can't believe this little ultralight hook has lasted this long. So yeah, I think that's the biggest one yet. I'm gonna go home today and do some maintenance on this reel. Another bluegill. I told you guys earlier, I said, man, once we catch one, you'll probably start catching them left and right. And sure enough, because bluegill tend to be a schooling fish more so than the long-eared sunfish and the green sunfish. So if you can just find one, usually you're good to go from then on. That seems to be the case today. I do see some long-eared sunfish in here though, not much you can do about it. Another bluegill. This reel needs maintenance bad. There you go. I think, man, that's like 7 now. I'm gonna go ahead and put them back in the water and get some more oxygen. We got quite a few in here now. Quite a few of them. We don't want them to start stressing out and dying, because I think we're just getting started. I'll catch as many as there are right here, and then I'll go and drop them off. I made my mind up today that I was gonna go ahead and try and catch bluegill. So seeing all these bass jump kind of hurts my feelings, but I did not bring my bass rod. I hooked this guy in the eyeball on the outside. There you go, a little long ear. Long ear. Wait, no, it's a bluegill. Huh. This is what's kind of annoying about keeping the minnow bucket in the water, is when you do catch a fish, it's kind of a pain in the ass to have to get this thing out and put it back in and do that over and over. There we go. Yes, sir. There we go. At this rate, we can get out of here in about 15 minutes. Little green sunfish, not what we're after. Some of these fish are like not even a year old. Oh, terrible cast. Still caught a fish. All these cloudy days we've been having and no rain. I said all these cloudy days we've been having and no rain to show for it. You know what though? After all the flooding we've had, I don't really care. You know? The lake's been high for like 5 years.
What are you trying to catch?
Bluegill.
Oh,
Just,
man, well, you keep catching those shad.
oh, those are the bluegill.
Oh, so you've been catching those? What are you going to do with them?
Take
Use
them,
for bait?
take them to my pond.
Oh, well,
Feed my bass.
that's cool.
Yeah. There we go. Green sunfish again. Almost looks like a little peacock bass.
You need to get you a feeder or feed them by hand.
Yeah, chum the water.
Go out to the feed store. Because when they're this healthy, those bass ain't going to catch them.
No.
But they'll breed for you.
Yeah.
And you're still starving your fish.
Yeah.
Yeah, if I was going to do, I mean, I had a stock pond as well.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. Whoa. That guy took my bait so fast. I think once I use up these last 3 pieces of nightcrawler, I'm getting out of here, because I think now we've caught about, I don't know, 15 bluegill probably. I think we're in good shape now, and I don't want them to start suffocating in that minnow bucket. Nobody will suspect you're transporting fish when you got them in a little minnow bucket. So that's why I do it like that, but it's really not big enough for more than 5 of them. I cram them in there though. Another pretty long ear right here, the big cichlid knot on his forehead. Green sunfish, or as I like to call it, the fake peacock bass. Yeah?
Coming back to living here.
Yeah, I wasn't catching any bluegill until I came right here. It was nothing but green sunfish up to that point, and green sunfish don't help a pond, they hurt it because they got a big mouth. So what they do is you put them in there to feed bass, but they also take food away from bass because a green sunfish will eat minnows and stuff like that. So they're a little predator.
They're fun to catch, but like I said, you know, they're not food. You need to still feed the bass.
Whoa, whoa. Wasn't expecting that. You know, I've been catching all these little bluegill like this, and then all of a sudden I get this little largemouth, you know. After catching all those bluegill, it felt like a 10-pounder. No, he didn't swallow it. Too bad he's not a spotted bass, or I'd keep him. Not expecting to catch a little largie. He's gonna destroy my hook. Oh man, my hook's fucked. There we go, got it out. We'll have to toss him back, but man, I was not expecting to catch a little bass here today. But like I always say, where the bluegill are, the bass are, because they will eat them. Sure, they're fast and they're not easy for a bass to catch, but they catch them. So there you go. Here you go, bud. Wow. Little tail dance action for you. Another bite already. Right species too. If we can catch like 5 more of these on 2 pieces of night crawler, that'd be great. Yeah, I'm not gonna put him in the bucket covered in blood. He'll rot the water, so. There's a bite. Another bluegill. We lose our, yeah, we lost our night crawler on that one. We got 1 piece left. Obviously got like 10 more worms in the box, but I'll feed them to my turtles because we don't need to put 500 bluegill in there today. There he is. Long ear. Here we go. Another long ear. I think that bluegill is going to be all right. He's still kicking. He might come to his senses in about 5 minutes. Here we go, bite. Bluegill, there we go. Looks like a little male. There he is. Come on. Yeah, I wasn't catching any till I found this spot, and now I've probably got 30 of them in there. Yeah, I got to put them in the water here pretty soon. Another little bluegill. Another greenie. Oh, that's the end of my night crawlers right there, so we'll cut on over to the pond. It's the world's smallest pond. You're about to see it. The world's smallest pond, you guys. There it is, the whole thing. That's it. That's where we're going to be putting these bluegill right now. All right, so I drained all this water. go ahead and toss these guys in. Toss them in by hand. Toss these little guys in. Vegetation's pretty thick. Oh, we got a lively one here. This vegetation's incredible. All right, there we go. About 20 bluegill. This pond's actually about 1.5 feet low. Huh?
You stocking our tank?
Yeah, bluegill, man.
Yeah, good. I saw you pick some little fish out there, and I'm like,
yeah, I was hoping.
Put some little perch in here.
Yeah, nothing crazy, just some bluegill. You know, I was thinking about putting some bass in here, but I don't think they'd do well. But bluegill will.
Yeah.
So they'll eat the mosquitoes and stuff like that. Yeah.
That's awesome.
This is a doctor office? Is that?
No, we're a flooring store.
Flooring,
We got all this
okay.
backside here, and then on the other side over there's nothing in there right now.
Yeah. So I'm putting bluegill in here. Yeah, and
Cool, there's a million frogs in here, and there's one turtle about that big around that lives in here, but we've never had any fish in here.
yeah, that's why I'm putting them in. This has got to be like the smallest pond in the county at least. I mean,
Right.
what is it, like 30 feet across by 20? I mean, it's really incredible. But what's amazing about it is not how small it is, but it never goes dry.
Yep.
It's like, it must be super deep, huh? Because
No,
if you look,
it's not. We get it whenever it rains. The water comes out of the storm drains and fills into here.
Right.
And it fills up just like that, and it takes it a long time to evaporate.
the nice thing is that you've got all this concrete here, and concrete doesn't absorb water.
Yeah.
So yeah, a little bluegill.
If he can get down in there.
You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna poke them with my rod. I'm so used to getting kicked out of ponds and stuff, you know, because, well, you know, I mean, just people kick you out of private ponds and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And so when I heard you talking, I'm like, uh-oh, and I turn around, and that's why I gave you the high five, because I was like, finally, somebody that's not gonna come out here and kick me out. This stuff is thick, but I did my best to. Also, what I did is I drained that water first before I put them in, because they say Lake Lewisville has zebra mussels. I've never seen any, but they say they're in there, so you got to drain the water. That's why I was tossing them in by hand. This is incredibly thick. There he goes. There you go.
Sit upright, he'll be all right.
Yeah, this is so thick that you don't even really have to worry about birds eating them. Yeah, I don't see any more.
Said he made us put the little aerator in it.
Yeah,
You used to just sit out here, and as soon as we put that aerator in it,
This
I think
stuff-
we call this largely pondweed.
right.
Man, it popped up, and I spray it about twice a year, and all it does is turn it around, it falls down, and then a
Right.
couple months later it pops
Because
back
each
up.
one of these little things, you see these little pine cones they have, those are seeds. Each one of those. So the way you could get rid of it is when you spray it, put in some pre-emergent or something like that, because pre-emergent will kill the seeds,
Yeah.
so it won't come back. But
It's
yeah.
It's a cool little ecosystem. The only thing missing was fish. It never had a
So
fish in
they
it.
wanted you to put a fountain in this little thing, huh? And it would have just sprayed into the road.
Yeah, they said it had to
Right.
There's our big bullfrog right over there. See him if you come out from that big where the circle is.
Oh, I do see him. Yeah, I see him.
He's a big boy. Every once in a while I get here. There's about 3 of them about his size.
Yeah.
That are in here, and then there's a million little bitty ones.
Yeah. Did they make you also put those mosquito fish in here? Those little, okay.
All that's in here is tadpoles when the frogs lay.
Yeah, so these bluegill will eat those tadpoles, and I'm sure there's probably snails in here and something like that. Let me see. I don't see any more. I think they all made it. I didn't have any die, which is good.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they'll eat the mosquitoes.
Where'd you get 'em at?
Lake Lewisville.
You just caught them or
yeah,
net 'em?
just caught them with this little. I caught one little bass and he bent my hook. I wasn't expecting to catch a bass. Yeah.
You just do that. Do it for fun.
Yeah, I do it for fun. I love fishing. And I've been driving by this pond and I'm like, oh my God, that's the smallest pond. That has to be the smallest pond in the world.
Yeah.
You know, any smaller.
Don't even see it. Don't even know what's here.
Because of this stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, you know, I drove by this road my whole life, and it wasn't until about a year ago I noticed this because of the vegetation. And I'm like, oh my God, that's a pond. So my goal is I'm gonna stock this pond and then maybe do some fishing videos here, because it would be really cool to just, you know, say, hey, I fished the world's smallest pond. But yeah, it's really cool.
If you start walking around the grass, they'll jump all out of the grass and start jumping in the pond. You said, chip, 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 chip.
Have you ever seen it lower than this, or is this about as low as it gets?
About as low as it gets.
Okay. Yeah.
It's only about, if you went out there where it's bubbling up, it's probably about that deep. Right?
Really?
Yeah.
Because, you know, right here it looks really steep.
Yeah.
So it doesn't, so it gets flat it flattens out.
It flattens out right here.
Okay.
A lot of the time it gets, you know, it'll get, after a good rain, it gets way up in here.
Yeah.
It'll stay, you know, right at the, you know, obviously if it gets up higher, it goes back into the storm sewer drain there.
This stuff dies in the winter, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah, so about what time of year does it get bad? Like June?
You mean the weeds?
Yeah, like, you know, because
Right
I can't fish in that.
Yeah.
So I mean, is it like I gotta get my fishing in by May or what?
Yeah, because it starts coming back in the spring.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I put some bluegill in. I put in probably about 20. So
Really?
you're gonna have some male and some female in there, and they'll spawn.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Good deal. Well,
hopefully I can catch them sometime.
videos here.
Yeah, thank you. What's your name?
My name's Kevin.
All right, I'm Wesley.
Wesley.
Sorry about the
Fish hands?
yeah, that's the only downside to using night crawlers, is the mud they pack them in. But yeah.
It's all good, man.
All right.
I'm thrilled.
Yeah, I was totally expecting somebody to say, hey, what are you doing?
Oh,
you know?
Well, I was going to say, what are you doing? But I'm excited.
Yeah.
I saw you pitching fish, and I said, and I told the guys, I said, somebody's finally stocking our pond. I don't know if he's in the city or if he's just on his own. And I said, well, he's got a GoPro in front of his head. He's probably just on his own.
Yeah, I do YouTube videos.
Cool.
Yeah. I caught those in about 20 minutes. Yeah. Well, hopefully this stuff doesn't, you know, grow like that all the way to the bottom. Hopefully they can get out and swim around.
Oh yeah, they can swim around in it. When they get up in here, it gets a little thick.
Yeah. I didn't want to throw them, you know, 20 feet into the bubbles, you know, but that would have been the best spot to let them go.
Well, that's what you'll do with the next round.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah. All right. Thank you. See ya. All right, you guys, so that is the world's smallest pond, or certainly one of them. You can see all of it right there. The guy that works at this place actually doesn't mind me putting fish in or fishing at it. I believe he said his name is Kevin. So yeah, definitely expect to see some fishing videos from the world's smallest pond in the future. Thanks for watching, you guys.